Hey y'all know what it is. It's Queens AF. Queens are forever. We about to get started, y'all. Here we go on the countdown. Hey everybody, we are back.
Hey,
Another Tuesday, y'all. Another Tuesday.
another Tuesday.
Yeah. Don't it seem like when you got something to do, it just feel like you don't want to do nothing?
I know, you know what I said? I was talking to Kay. I was like, oh my God. I said, I don't know today. Tired.
Right? Any other Tuesday.
Last
you
Tuesday, I was chilling. All the energy in the world, okay?
I know. I'm like, man, I hate when I gotta do something. I always get tired. I'll be like, you know what? Maybe not this Tuesday. But
Right. That's always that way.
I think it's just, having something to do, then your body be like, nah, you could be chilling
Right.
right now.
Not today.
Hey, sis, I see you here, Adrienne. I always get tired. But
Uh-oh.
while we are waiting for everybody to come in here, y'all know we like to play a song. So, me and Cubana's favorite song from King Jones, aka my husband, right now, off of his new album that is actually out right now called Favor Ain't Fair on all streaming apps, Spotify, YouTube, anywhere you got. This is one of his songs. It's called Absolutely. Here we go.
Absolutely.
Why this beat so complex?
When they
I
ask
hate
what
that
I
it's so
wear,
low in ours,
am I
but it's
deep in
loud
my
in
bag?
yours.
Absolutely. They feelings is hurt cause I know what I'm worth and been winning since birth. Absolutely. They want me to fall. Absolutely. Am I covered in gold? Absolutely. I'm hot as the summer, so please take a number, continue to work. Absolutely. When they ask what I wear, absolutely. Am I deep in my bag? Absolutely. They feelings is hurt cause I know what I'm worth and been winning since birth. Absolutely. They want me to fall. Absolutely. Am I covered in gold? Absolutely. I'm hot as the summer, so please take a number, continue to work. Absolutely. How do you want it? How do you feel? Surrounded by goons and they shoot to kill. I don't do pills, but I blow trees. She talk too much, not next to me. I need the cash, you keep the extra. I don't work out, but still I am flexing. Fuck your life, fuck your wife. Only what condoms that's for my protection. The way you see it is not how I see it. I'm disagreeing, not my prescription. You are a hater, you sit with the haters. In the nosebleeds, not in my section. There will be singing and flower bringing. If you are thinking of taking my watch, not 12 rounds, but you in the ground. After some prayer, you still want a box? When they ask, will I win? Absolutely. Am I deep in my bag? Absolutely. They feelings is hurt cause I know what I'm worth and been winning since birth. Absolutely. They want me to fall. Absolutely. Am I covered in gold? Absolutely. I'm hot as the summer, so please take a number, continue to work. Absolutely. When they ask, will I win? Absolutely. Am I deep in my bag? Absolutely. They feelings is hurt cause I know what I'm worth and been winning since birth. Absolutely. They want me to fall. Absolutely. Am I covered in gold? Absolutely. I'm hot as the summer, so please take a number, continue to work. Absolutely.
Thought I would stop, want me to flop? Absolutely not. Put me to the game, pass me the rock. Down to the score, now we back on top. I came this league undrafted. Some of you need to practice. My team gets the cream all around the atlas. Stock and Globetrotter, hot as cold water. If you hot, then my flow's hotter. If you think you can get with me, a king, please. Don't bother, got this thing on lock like a chassis. Got the destiny, think you gassy. I'm the truth in the booth, and I'm only speaking facts.
When they ask, will I win? Absolutely. Am I deep in my bag? Absolutely. They feelings is hurt cause I know what I'm worth and been winning since birth. Absolutely. They want me to fall. Absolutely. Am I covered in gold? Absolutely. I'm hot as the summer, so please take a number, continue to work. Absolutely. When they ask, will I win? Absolutely. Am I deep in my bag? Absolutely. They feelings is hurt cause I know what I'm worth and been winning since birth. Absolutely. They want me to fall. Absolutely. Am I covered in gold? Absolutely. I'm hot as the summer, so please take a number, continue to work. Absolutely.
I love that. I told him when he do the video, he gotta have a choir in the background, like, oh.
That's one of my favorites. That's one of
It
my favorites on
is.
the album. So yeah.
Is. Hey, everybody coming in. I seen Erica.
Hello,
I
everyone.
Quincy in here. I seen Coley Cole.
Coley Cole in the
Tanya.
house.
Hey,
Tanya,
Jay.
Adrian, Erica.
Welcome, 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 ladies.
Welcome, ladies.
Tanya, yeah. Whoa. Absolutely. Man. Anyways, hey y'all. Y'all, we be really making it every first and third
Yes.
Tuesday. You know what I'm saying? It's hard for me to be dedicated. I ain't even dedicated to my husband. No, I'm just joking.
Lies.
Just kidding.
We got it good.
But how you been since 2 Tuesdays ago?
I'm good. I can't complain. I'm good. Stuffed right now. I told you my sister been in here making these birria quesadillas and rice and beans, and I'm like, girl, told you I had a podcast.
No.
And
And now you all
good.
yeah, you full and nice and sleepy.
Yes.
And I appreciate everybody that comes through because a lot of people work, it's a weekday, so people be just getting off of work or still at work. Yeah, if they work night shift, they getting up to get ready. So I appreciate everybody that come through, whether you stay all the whole time or you come through and just mess with us for a little bit. I love it because we love the feedback.
Hey,
So
Jamie.
yes, and Nikki, I see you. Hey, Keisha.
Hey,
So
Nikki. Hey, cousin. We got to get
yeah.
Keisha up one Tuesday. We got to figure out what date will work so we can get some financial literacy up here.
I'm down with that because last time Keisha came and got on here, it was last year and it was about something else. So now that she has grown some from that and that's past her and she on the bigger, better things in entrepreneurship and she has knowledge in finances and taxes as well as you have knowledge in taxes too, don't you?
Right. But she's
So yeah,
a
definitely.
guru.
Yeah, so definitely we got to have her up here and lace this lady with some game.
Absolutely.
But absolutely.
Because that's my favorite song because that's my favorite. Absolutely. I said all the time. I'm telling my students, they was like, yeah, absolutely. Yes, Tanya. Oh my God, it was so good too. Mm.
And the crazy part is I made quesadillas tonight, but I made mine with turkey meat because I didn't have no media, no beef or nothing like that.
Yes.
So that media, you gotta let it cook, slow cook for a while, get tender. You got steps you gotta take.
She had the sauce and everything. She started this morning.
Yes, exactly.
Hey, what's up, Capone? Thanks for dropping in.
If y'all, whoever's in here, and we love to when the men come through and they give their perspective or they just here to listen, how we drop in on them on they Men's Mental Health Sundays. Mm-hmm. But go ahead, y'all, and share this out. Share it to your page or share it to your friends or share it to a group or wherever. And we about to get into this. Yes, it ain't nothing to play with. And look, Keisha, we got we April, so we got another on the third Tuesday. So 2 Tuesdays from now, we got one, and then the first Tuesday of May. So just let me know, or I'll reach out to you and we can do something.
Right. Mm-hmm.
All right. So usually we start off with my topic, but I want to go ahead and start off with one of your topics that you got. They say, yep, even when I do chicken, it's hella hours.
Yes, absolutely. So, one of the topics that I asked is, do you think that after a woman has been single for so long and she's had to be in a protective mode, operated in her masculine energy, do you find it harder to revert back to your feminine energy, or once you're in a safe space, then you go right back to your feminine energy. How do you ladies feel about that?
That's a really good question because a lot of women are single or have been single for a long time. Um, yes, Quincy, we did the 30-second actually in the very, very beginning. And then we did the song. But I think that's a really good question. And it's funny because I have a family. Oh, Tanya said, can you repeat the question?
So the question was, do you find it hard after being single for so long, or being single, um, to operate in your feminine energy after you have to operate in your masculine energy for so long, in such a protective mode? Like if you have, especially if you have sons or children, you're more operating in a masculine energy when you're single. Do you find it harder to revert back to your feminine energy?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I feel like a lot of women have an issue with that. I've talked to women like
Hmm.
family women that tell me it's hard for them to come from being single for a while and trying to let a dude come into their life and be the man or take over or whatever.
Right.
Um, and so Keisha said, man, it will take a hell of a man to get me back to soft girl era. When you're Miss Make It Happen. Oh, when you're Miss Make It Happen. Hold
Hmm.
on. You get real masculine. Okay.
Right.
Quincy
So
said, I
Quincy
don't
said he don't think it's a masculine energy though, or you just think that it's a woman being strong. I
right.
think it's a woman being strong, but I do think that there is, because you operate in those two energies. Either you're more of a assertive masculine type energy, or you're more of a soft girl feminine type energy. I, for myself, being when I was a single woman, it took a lot for me to get back into the soft girl era, because I was used to handling everything, used to doing everything on my own, used to making sure, my boys is good. I'm at football practice, I'm on the field with them, hollering, screaming. I'm the medic on the field with them, so, it
Yeah.
took a while for me just to get back, to where I can let go and trust, that I was in safe hands, and be able to just sit in my girl energy and just be like, okay, you handle it.
Right. Um, Keisha said, I'm working on this now. Jamie said, from what I've heard, they have a difficult time getting back to their feminine energy once being masculine for so long. Tanya said, it depends on the person. I had to discover my femininity again with dealing with men who weren't operating in their masculine. Jamie said,
Absolutely.
a great question. Nikki said, I stay in my feminine energy whether I'm single or not.
I
So,
know
Nikki,
that's right, Miss Nikki.
um, if you could just kind of elaborate, how do you stay in your feminine when you're single, on the times that you're single and you are dealing with things, taking care of the kids on your own, or kid, I don't know how many, if you only have one, but, and paying bills and dealing with things just in general on your own. You don't have a dude that can back you up or handle things for you or make you feel like I got you. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to do this life by yourself type thing. Quincy said, just drop some head and dick off. She'll be back to feminine in no time. That is actually not true for everybody.
That is
And
not true.
I think that's a false sense. Just like I feel like people, if it's good sex, a lot of women will fall for a man or stay with a man because they got good sex, but the man or the relationship is not.
That's not
Tanya,
true.
yeah, Tanya said, we don't want to be masculine. It's damn near just a circumstances at the time. I didn't and I
Absolutely.
don't like it. I have to check my stuff still. Right. Keisha said, there's the word cousin safe. Tanya said, then block her and watch her crash out. I'm done.
Mhm.
She was responding to Quincy. But yeah, I definitely don't think that. I feel like this is the advice that I give. Hey baby Link, I see you in here. This is the advice that I give is that if you are willing to open yourself up as a woman to go date again after being single for so long, or even being single for a little while, but the last relationship you were in was not that great, and you had to be in your masculine energy for that relationship. Hey, Jay Fox, I see you in here. Then before you go to date, you gotta be able to open yourself up, be transparent to know that if a good relationship do come along, don't mess it up by being too masculine and dealing with that person in a way of what you used to deal with. You know what I'm saying? Bringing your
Well,
baggage and putting it
after
on them.
my issue with it, when I say first off, I was raised on a farm with my, you know what I'm saying? My grandfather had 13 acres, so I was already a tomboy. So I'm running around, swinging on trees, feeding pigs, all that anyway. But for me, with having sons, being single and having sons, I found myself, you know, more of a aggressor than softer because I didn't, my sons just had me. I didn't want them to, be soft, sassy. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I raised them,
So you were trying to be hard to fill in that hard for to
and
fill in that
it wasn't so much
masculinity.
trying to be hard. It came naturally for me because, like I said, I was a tomboy. So I sat with my dad every Saturday, whenever sports, I sat with my dad and watched sports. I was sitting there hollering and screaming at the TV, watching boxing, wanted to be a boxer. I was already that way. So it wasn't like when I had boys, actually, to be honest, it was harder for me to transition into a girl mom than it was to be a boy mom.
Okay. And
Mhm.
you bringing that up, I grew up as a tomboy. So I can understand that. When I got with Quincy, he had to tell me a few times like you can't be going off on men and you got a man. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? And
right.
if my if my god sister Adrian is in here, she knows she experienced it because she's been knowing me since I was 8 years old. So she's
Yeah.
experienced a lot with me, and she's seen me go off on dudes before. And it wasn't that, like you said, I had a dad. My dad was very much, in my life. I was a daddy's girl for a long time. My dad would
Absolutely.
walk through the hallway and push me, nudge me up against the wall, give me knuckle sandwiches. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? When I got to a certain age and play. Uh, my brothers, I have, three brothers, RIP to my oldest brother. But so they taught me how to fight.
Hmm.
Like they really had me and some of my cousins my age
Hmm.
in our garage, converted garage, like fighting like we was a fight club.
Absolutely. That's what we grew up in. Yeah, because it was more guy cousins with us than it was girl cousins. So our guy cousins had us in there fighting each other.
Yeah,
R.I.P. Willie. You remember Willie? Willie always wanted,
right,
yeah,
of
hit,
course.
hit her. So
Yes.
that's what we was used to. So it wasn't like a hard thing. Like I said, it was harder for me to transition to being a girl mom. Like my daughter is so dainty and she like the lip gloss and stuff, and I'm plain face. I
Right.
don't wear makeup. I don't wear foundation. I don't do any of that. The most we gonna get is some eyeshadow, some eyeliner, and some lip gloss, maybe some lipstick. So that's just So it was hard,
I
transitioning
mean,
into the role.
I feel you. I remember jumping out on some dudes, like,
Yep.
and popping the trunk. And we was ever in the trunk, we was about to bust them dudes in the head with it and take
Yep.
it there. Like, really remember doing those things, and it sets you up to be kind of like rah rah. Like, I always
Hmm.
still to this day feel like respect is respect, whether we're a man and a woman, or two women or two men. We're both human. So treat me with the same respect. Like, don't talk to me crazy because you think that I'm the weaker one, because I'm a female. But what I had to learn is that when it comes to spouses and a woman with her man, um, we have to learn that it's okay to be soft. It's
Hmm.
okay to cry. It's okay to say that hurt my feelings. It's okay to say that I'm overwhelmed and I need help. It's okay, a lot of times too, if you're scared of rejection, if you got a lot of rejection, from past relationships on getting help, or when you need them, then it makes you feel like I can't go to my man. So, those things, it comes with time. Of course, you're not going to just let down your guard when you first start dating and things like that. But you have to, at some point before they leave you, understand, hey, you love that
Hey,
that
hey.
I have to put down this guard and be soft for them, even if I'm not soft for nobody else. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? Same thing with I tell Quincy, you be hard out there. You be soft with me when you come home.
Right.
Don't talk to me the same way you gonna talk to them other females out there on the street or other niggas when you see them. You know
Absolutely.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Talk to
But
me
see, that's the
soft.
same with me. Like, but so it's so funny because I don't know. I think Tanya may have somebody said it, but with me and my husband, it's different. Like, cause it's his masculinity makes me automatically be soft. It's like an automatic thing. It is not a tussle. It's not a, you know, when he speak, I'm just like, okay.
Right. And
So,
that's because that's the safe space that he made for you. And I think too, you have to like feel it out because sometimes as women, we will exaggerate a situation because we like a guy or even love a guy. So we'll be like, you know what I'm saying? Knowing that he's probably not there, like a safe dude for you to put your guard down, but you just hoping or you want to change him and for him to be that. So wait, see, because if you're dating somebody, see that's another we don't like to date. We like it. We see a guy, he holler at us, or we hook up with him somewhere, and we've been talking to him for a couple of days or a week, and we really like him. And now, because he's saying all the right things or check off the right boxes, you know what I mean? Because put this in your mind too, women. Every good guy out there doesn't mean he's a good guy for you. He could have a good job, he could have a nice car, he could have his own place, and have all of the things to check off the box, but he's not the man for you. You know what I'm saying? So make sure that he not just checking off boxes, but you're getting to know him. You're getting to know him when he's mad, when he's sad, when he how he deals with his money, when he's broke. You know what I mean?
mhm.
So not just when he happy and got everything and y'all in a honeymoon state. Like get to know him on an intimate level. How does he deal with his family? If he has kids, how does he deal with his kids or his ex or baby mama? You know what I'm
That
saying?
was
Like
that was one of my things. That's why I always said I want to see you in every stage. I want to see you when you mad as hell. I want to see when you're happy. I want to see you when you got money. I want to see when you don't have money. I want to see you in all those stages so I can know what I'm truly dealing with. Because it's always like in the beginning, it's a mask. They show you who they think you want to see or who they think you want them to be. And then as time goes on, I'm sorry, y'all. That's my grandbaby. They leaving.
that's
Okay,
okay.
get your shoes, baby. So after seeing after a while, then they start to let the little guard down and they start being them true selves. But in the beginning, you're getting a mask of a person because they're
Right,
trying to show you that they're a good person, show you that they are who you want them to be.
right. And the last one I would say, watch them when you tell them no on something they really want from you, whether it's money or sex or for y'all to do something together or for you to do something for them. Like, watch, when you say no, how do you react? Are you gonna start acting up? Are you gonna start acting funny? Are you gonna ghost me? You know what I mean? Like those are the things when you can really feel out a person, man or woman, and know that they solid and they got you whether it's good, whether they're happy or sad or in the ins or the outs. That's what makes a woman feel safe. That's what makes anybody feel safe. So, hold on, let me get to these comments because I see they building up. Uh, Tanya said, I call my baby boy my sweet boy, but he's so rough, but he's a sweetheart. He said, yep. Adrian said, it was normal. It was normal for me to go off on somebody. Coco said, it's so hard. She's so hard to let your guard down.
It is hard. It's scary too. being vulnerable is a very scary state. When like I can't think whose song is that. Ella May who sings that song. Um, when you're naked, I want to see you when you're naked, and she's not talking about naked as far
I
as
think
with
that
your
is her.
clothes off. I want to see you with raw emotion. I want to
Raw
see you
emotion.
when you're down and out. I want to see you when you're depressed. And like you said, when you're mad, because like for me, it's so funny. I don't care how mad we are at each other. If I need something or ask, be like, can you go to the store and get this? Mad or not. He may not say, yeah, I'm gonna go get it, but he gonna go get it. Same with me.
Right.
If I'm mad at him, I don't care how mad I am. If I cook dinner, I'm still fixing that plate. I may
Yeah.
not be
I
like,
always.
oh yeah, here's your plate, but I'm just gonna sit the plate down and go about my business. But I'm,
Hmm.
you know what I'm saying? That's what you want, someone that even when they're mad at you, when like, when you didn't make them to the piss of pistivity, they still operate as they love you.
Right.
And that's where,
Yes.
you want to be when you're
Um.
looking at relationships. And it's hard, it's hard getting to that point to where you're vulnerable enough to allow a man to see all the broken pieces of you, or, all your trauma, days when you don't want to do your hair, you know
No,
see
that's
all
real.
that. It's hard to get to that, to get comfortable in that state.
That's real. Keisha said, "Man, since my divorce, I have dated with a huge wall up. I just recently said I'm gonna open that, so that's good. At least you start with the thought of at least I'm gonna open up."
Right.
Bila said, "Keisha, open up says don't block your blessings." Cody Cole said, "And that's the thing. Masculinity make me feel safe." Right.
Right. Because it's your
It does.
protection, it's your defense mechanism. It makes you
It
feel safe.
yeah,
Because
and I think
within that masculine energy, there's a certain wall that you have up that is not penetrant, able to be penetrated. You're like, okay, I know me taking care of me doing this. I don't have to worry about nobody letting me down because I got it.
right, exactly. Quincy says, so does a woman put a man in his masculine energy when she's feminine, or does that only work one way? So I know this conversation has came up for the men, or yeah, for the men, I think, or we asked this question before, but I definitely feel like this. Like Nikki said earlier, some women, whether they are single or not, they have the ability, which is a skill. Like I said before, like on me and Quincy's show, like we always say, "Oh, people, you don't know this or you don't know that, or how do you not have this skill?" Some
Hmm.
We're going through life, and everybody's not going to have all the life and social and relationship skills just
Right.
because they are an adult or even because they've been married. A lot of times people go through life on autopilot, and
Right.
they go through life uh working through not love but survival.
Yep.
So if you're doing survival mode, you're not using all your life skills. You know
Mm-mm.
what I'm saying? So a lot of things takes time. Some relationships bring out other things in people. Like with Quincy, before Quincy, I probably been slapped up, choked, big faced, all the dudes before him. And with him, I tried it, but he came at me in a different way. And some things, and to let me know that that wasn't cool. And I know that doing all that is not right anyway. So it just convicted me and it made me stop. But the point is that some relationships bring out something else in you. And it should be
Hmm.
better things. It should not be that they're bringing out the bad in you. Some people, some men can be masculine no matter who they with, in a positive masculinity. And there's some women that women could do the same thing, positive femininity. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
I believe
saying? And
so.
regardless, but there's not a lot of people. If you haven't grown up with seeing healthy love,
Hmm.
non-dysfunctional love,
Right.
then you're gonna probably, before you get to that evolution, you're gonna mess up. You're gonna be in bad relationships, dysfunctional relationships, low
Hmm.
self-esteem relationships. So but yeah, I mean, people can put, a woman could put a man in his, or help him, usher him into his masculine, and men can definitely usher women into theirs, but you also have to be accountable. So
You know
although
what?
they may
Quincy get
not,
on my nerves. Mm-mm-mm. Quincy
although
get on my nerves.
you said who? Quincy? Oh,
Quincy. He said, so technically you were an abusive spouse partner.
Quincy, this is not the time. We've talked about this on other shows. Now I said that. I said what I said. I said I got better after. This was way in the beginning.
But
Listen,
I do believe that you don't get the same person in every relationship. Certain people bring out a different things in certain relationships. Like this is my second marriage. In my first marriage, my first husband, he was a D-boy. He was in the streets. He was, all that. So people would ask me like, he never hit you? No. For real? He never did this? No. Like I've never even seen that side of him. They were like, for real? Like they couldn't believe it, but he wasn't with me what he was to the other women that he was with. It was just, you know, for whatever reason, is that just what I didn't bring that out in him. So that's why I believe that you don't always get the same person in every relationship.
Yeah.
You as that spouse, that girlfriend, that boyfriend, you bring out different things in that person depending on the level of comfortability they have with you.
Right. Bila said, I'm triggered. My last relationship was toxic and he had all these moods, and it was hard for me to leave because I was already in love. And that is the story that
Yeah, that's what a
90,
lot of abusive people
90
say.
something percent women say. I'm sure men feel that way too, but
Mhm.
it's not as much. Men can walk away like easier than women. I feel as a whole. I'm not saying every single man, but I'm saying as a whole, as a general, men can easily pop out the relationship. Like this is too much for me. I'm gonna come back when you chill. When you're not mad no more, or when you're not doing this no more, or whatever. Females, we will hold on until we hate them. We'll hold
You're
on
right.
till we're bitter, and then we'll leave. And some of them will still stay and just be bitter and try to make the man's life a living hell. But while
Mhm.
you're making his life a living hell because you're bitter of what he's doing to you, you're also making your own life a living hell.
Right.
You know what I'm
And
saying? You're not living in harmony.
I feel that in an abusive relationship, they're always waiting. You're always waiting for that person that captured your heart. So that's why a lot of women stay, because oh no, he was like this though. I love him, but this is not the man I fell in love with. And you're constantly sitting there waiting for the man that you fell in love with, when that was, like I said, that was just the mask. I think in relationships we don't give each other time enough to learn each other. We don't date no more. You remember our parents,
That's what I
they used to
said.
court. They would be together, for oh yeah, we're getting married now. 2-3 years later, they get married. 2-3 years later, they move into the house, and what I'm saying, we just, oh, I love him, girl, I love him, girl, oh, that's my dude, oh, my man, my man, my man. And then they in the house with y'all. Now y'all in a relationship after 3 months, and you don't even know him. And now when he start knocking you side the head, you like, wait a minute, I didn't know you was like that. No, you didn't, because you didn't give a chance to find out. You didn't
Said,
jump
wait
in the
a
bed
minute,
and
I'll
jump in the
fight
relationship
back.
and
I'm
move
just
in too
joking.
quick.
Listen, I was on a whole nother level. Like I didn't have somebody choke me out and I smiled. Like
You like that
not
abusive love. You like
choke
that
me out, but
SMN.
choke me, like grab me by my throat, and I didn't smile. Like, okay, I don't care that I'm blacking out right now. No, I'm just
You
joking.
will, you will be loved. And you know what's the funniest thing about it is you always find it when you're not looking for it. When you are so happy and content with your life, and you like, oh, this is it. I love me. I'm like, for me, I would take myself out on dates. I went on a date by myself. I didn't care. I went to the movies by myself.
Mhm.
I took trips by
I
myself.
did that.
I ate by myself. I was in the mall shopping by myself. I didn't care. It didn't have to be with me. I was truly enjoying me, learning to love me. And that's when it came, when I wasn't even looking for it.
Yeah, and I think I don't
Mm,
know if it's my personality or maybe I got that from my mom, but I learned to love me, and it was a point where, like, my closest few ladies around me, they were in relationships or married or having babies, and or even in school away from Stockton, doing their thing. So I had to learn, like my 21st birthday, I had to learn how to go have fun by myself, go meet up with friends. I had a lot of guy friends too.
I
So
did too.
so meet me at the club, and then at one point, my middle brother EQ, he was single, he was doing his thing, so I'd be like, bro, ride with me or meet me up here, and we would go and have fun together. Like you have to learn how to love you and be cool with you. If you can't sit by yourself, if you have to be distracted with a relationship,
I'm not ready for one.
you already is in a bad way because it's
Codependent.
yeah, you're codependent. Thank you. Codependent instead of interdependent, meaning that although you're my spouse and we do depend on each other for certain things like emotional and sex and you know what I'm saying? And communication and all that stuff, I'm not dependent on you to where if you leave me, I'm going to die. Or I'm going to be in this major depression for the rest of my life, and I'm never going to be with nobody else. And I'm gonna, you know what I'm saying? Because you were, my mom used to say, and I love this, you were you before they met you. So
You know what my dad always taught me? He taught me that too, that you're whole. You want to be whole before you even get into the relationship. You want to bring a whole you. That's why I always took, after relationships, I took years off, and I literally mean years before I even got back into the dating game again, because I wanted to see, what went wrong in this relationship, what was my part of, because my dad always taught us, it takes two to make a relationship go bad. Even if you wasn't the one who did the most wrong, you had something in that you wasn't correct in too. So self-evaluate. So I always try to self-evaluate and be, okay, I did do this, I could have did it this way. It was times when I should have shut up, I didn't shut up. So I took, did a self-evaluation. But if you don't come into the relationship whole, then you're starting to depend on your partner for things that only you can make happen. You want your partner to make you happy. He can't or she can't make you happy. Happiness comes from within. You have to be happy with you. You have to be secure with you. And I know that's another thing that I always said. I said I would never ever again date an insecure man. That is the one of the worst types of men to date. Because if you're secure and he's insecure, you move like a secure person. Me, I'm outgoing, I move, I go, I'm spontaneous. I may be like, hey, I'm gonna catch a flight, I'm gonna go to Houston, I'll be in Houston for a week.
I know, Gemini.
You know what I'm saying? So, and if I have an insecure man and what you doing? You going down there to meet, you got a man down there, man, like thinking about no man, don't no man consume my mind that long.
I'm
that
much. Go see my family and eat. No,
I'm just going because I want to go. Oh, I'm gonna go to Frisco to the bay, I'm gonna go to the beach. That's the type of person that I am. So if I have a man that is insecure, it's not gonna work, because you're gonna always constantly think I'm doing something when men don't consume my mind like that. If anything, you need to be worried about money and me at the casino. Now, if you say that, then I'll be like, well, yeah.
Say you at the casino.
Right. Me at the casino, me trying to make me getting another idea to make some money that's taken away. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, I don't be worried about no,
Right.
So you have to find and know, the type of person that will make you happy.
Right.
Type of person that can get along with your personality. And everybody is not, everybody can't mesh.
Right. I wanted to say too, happiness, although happiness, and I'm gonna get back to the comments, happiness is within, like it starts with you being happy with yourself, being secure with yourself, having self-esteem within yourself. I will tell you this though, your partner is supposed to aid in that. They're supposed to help with that. They're supposed to help you maintain it. The same way, this is for men and women. When somebody comes into your life and you guys are building a life together, they are not supposed to be the main reason why you're always sad or insecure, worrying about what they're doing because they moving funny. You know what I'm saying? Like those things, you're supposed to be secure in yourself, and they're supposed to be secure in themselves, and y'all supposed to know what makes y'all happy individually. But also,
Absolutely.
partnership means that I know I, as your partner, knows what makes you happy and sad, and I'm gonna stay in the realm of making you happy because I know life is already gonna throw some, you know what I'm saying, wrenches in it.
Right.
And just us being human, I'm not gonna always get it right. You're not gonna always get it
Right.
right. We're gonna get on each other's nerves. Sometimes we're gonna say stupid stuff. If we drinking and it go too far, sometimes we might be drinking and get in an argument, anything. But
Mhm.
at the end of the day, what the core of your relationship in person is that you are here to help each other
Absolutely.
have something and be
Mhm.
happy and live harmonious. You
Right.
know, you both deserve happiness, not
Absolutely.
always arguing and worried about what you're doing. You know,
Mhm.
Keisha said, "I'm trying. Sis, layers are currently being peeled, and it is layers. When, especially,
Those layers.
I know Keisha's, situation personally. When you've been with somebody for 20 plus years,
I was just
that's
about to say that. I would say, but see,
that's
Keisha, you had 20 plus years in the game. That's
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 some layers.
that's hard. Like her
That's
cousin, like me, me and her cousin. I was married to her cousin. That's how we were. I was with him from 15 to 33.
mm, I didn't know you was with Keisha's cousin.
Hmm. And you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So that's longevity, to leave those relationships then, because in the midst of those relationships, I don't care, you do lose a part of you. So
You
you have
do.
to go back and be like, okay, what makes me happy? Now I'm not a wife. Now I'm, not someone's significant other. It's just me and the kids. How do I navigate these waters? And
Right. And
when you
navigate.
learn that, it takes time. It takes some time to navigate that and learn and figure out, how to now be. Because my sister would cracking up because she'd be saying he trying to holler at you. I'm like, who? I can't. I didn't even know what it looked like when somebody would try to holler. I didn't even know what to do dating no more.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, really? You know what I'm saying? You lose that part because you're used to one person and satisfying one person and making sure one person you've learned their ins, their outs, and that's what you're used to. So yeah, it does, and it's scary to have to get back into that game and be vulnerable again and learn someone all over again, and so
And
yeah, I,
have
I
them learn
totally understand, Keisha, and it is layers.
and have the
Absolutely.
patience for them to learn you. Because
Yep.
what I hear from a lot of women is I don't hear this from a lot of men. What I hear from a lot of women is he don't know me. And or he should, I feel like he should know this. If he ain't been with you for years, he ain't gonna know it.
You're not
There's
gonna know.
marriages that's been together for years and they still trying to get it right in certain
Absolutely.
areas. You know what I'm saying? So, and as people, we change. We change every few years. I
Yep.
always say I have an epiphany every other year on how I
Hmm.
could be better, how I could evolve, how I could be a better wife, mother, a person, a sister, a friend. Like I always have these things, but everybody don't have those. They don't have those epiphanies. They don't have those sit downs with themselves. So
Hmm.
you know what I'm saying? Like, and some people everywhere you go, you're giving. You're giving yourself, you're giving your knowledge, you're giving your love, you're giving your support. And then you run into people who are takers. So they're just taking, taking, taking everywhere you go.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? But I digress. Let's get back to Gully Go said that's just answered my question. Keisha, Bila said Keisha sending love your way. Gully Cole said definitely. Adrian said good question. Bila said, do you think as a single woman we should operate that way too? Okay, wait. I think she might have been talking to Quincy. Um, and then Quincy said, yes, I tried. Quincy said, so technically you were in a abusive spousal partner. Listen, why do you keep bringing that up? Hey, it's still okay, bro. I see you in here. Gully goes said facts. Beulah said, damn, hitting you because he's slaying is yeah, people used to think the same thing about Quincy because he was a big guy, because he was known for football, because he was known for beating people up. Because when you see him, you be like, damn. So they be like, is you
Yeah, because
okay?
he did.
Like,
He fought his other baby mamas. He fought his other women, but he didn't fight me. We didn't have that
yeah.
kind of relationship.
Um, Beulah said, go gentle and paid. She said, just chilling, trying to get out my mama crib. You know what? Get out your mama crib.
Right. I like that song.
Beulah said, I hope I find true love one day like you two women. Yes. I hope everybody finds true love. But
Right.
guess what? The first true love is yourself.
Yep. Self-love is the best love. That's when it comes.
Self-love is the best love. Beulah said, I'm emotional now. I'm gonna come back after. Oh. Go said, hang in there, love. God got you. Beulah said, all right, I'm back. I had to cry real quick. Listen, it's okay to cry. It's okay to cry. And get it out.
That's washing the soul.
Honestly, that's nothing to be ashamed about. That's what these episodes are for. Yeah, definitely. Beulah said, it broke me down, started to call you, but I came back instead. Kelly Go said, this is very therapeutic. Thank you. And that's what this is for.
Yeah.
Beulah said, an insecure man is one who mommy didn't show him love. It might be the mom, it could be the dad, or guess what, ladies? Men get their hearts broken too.
Absolutely. I was about to say that.
Yeah.
It's not always because they have mommy issues. Some men are just, it takes a lot to have self-esteem. It takes a lot for you to look in the mirror and say, I accept me the way I am, flaws and all. Maybe a little heavier, maybe a little skinnier, hair may not grow like this, eyes may, it takes a lot to you to look in that mirror and be like, you know what, girl, you fine. Or man, you handsome. It takes a lot to get and to have self-esteem. So sometimes when it's an insecure man, it doesn't necessarily mean that they have mommy issues, or they just haven't found that security in themselves. When they look in the mirror, they don't see a secure man, or it may be that the woman he's operating with is more together than he is. He's still trying to get his stuff together. She already together. That brings the insecurity. It's so many things that plays into a insecure man. That's why I say when it comes to me, if I ever had to get back in that, I would definitely not date an insecure man, and I would date them all. I think our issue with women is that we like one and then we just stop the dating and put all our eggs in one basket. Now, sis, date them all. Date them all until that one makes it clear that it's just you in his life and it's just you he won't. Other than that, man, date them all. White, black, fat, short, tall, skinny, dark, light, date them all.
No, for real. That's what I said before I met Quincy. Like I was like Pokemon, gotta catch them all, because I didn't if another thing with me too was I didn't always date because of looks. I dated because of who you were. I dated because of our vibe. I dated because of who the person's heart was. Like, you know what I'm saying? A lot of the times, and not to say nothing about good-looking men, but a lot of times you good-looking men and you know it, y'all ain't shit, because you know that you could, if you leave this one, somebody else gonna want you. The good-looking men, the men that got good sex, that, you know what I'm saying? Anyways, hey Kiki, I see.
It was intelligence. I'm a Gemini, so you gotta spark my mind first. You can hold a conversation and multi different facets. Oh, you got me. I'm tuned in. Then we're gonna build from there. But you got to be able to spark a conversation and hold me intelligently first.
I love deep conversations. I be talking Quincy's ear off. Do you hear me? I didn't talk this ear off for years. And I know he was like, yep, babe, scrolling through his phone or whatever. Yep, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? So, so definitely I love men who I can talk to and have deep conversations just as much as be light and funny and goofy with. You know what I'm saying? Right. Beulah said, I got to roll up. She said, Roland, have me boo-hooing right now. Oh. Crying helps too. Okay, well maybe just the one was W. So she V-Love said, I like hey Keita, I see you in here. I like dating a secure man where we can be like, babe, she has a nice ass. Babe, she hella pretty, huh? Some men hate this. What men hate this, V-Love? Who is you running into?
Right, because most men, and you know what, this is how I am. I don't I'm not into women like that. I'll say if I see someone, I'll be like, oh, she pretty, or whatever. But I'm not oblivious to what my man's type. So
Right.
if I see a woman that I know is his type, I don't be like, don't you look? Don't you, you know what I'm saying? If he look, he look. Hey, don't you're not
Yeah,
disrespectful with it. Because if I see a man that's handsome, I'ma look. Just because you're in a
right.
relationship don't mean your eyes die.
You're
There's still
right.
eye candy out there because there's always somebody more beautiful than you, more handsomer than you, built better. You know what I'm saying? It's just that's just how
Yep.
it is. You know what I'm saying? And it's the security in that is that you know what you bring to the table. So even if he do go somewhere else, you can never get another meat. Your loss. You know. So
Exactly.
that's how I look at it. Like, oh, I don't care what she look like or what she bring to the table. She don't bring me. It's only
Quincy can
one
go
me.
get with Janet Jackson, and Janet Jackson is one of the finest women to me. But
Janet Jackson is beautiful.
and so he can go get with Janet Jackson, and I still will be like, but she can't. She not me though.
She not
You
me
know what
though.
I'm saying? She gonna be sitting up there with that little funny grin going like this. She can dance and stuff, and she got money, but she can't cook. And I'm just like,
Yeah. And
she ain't
obviously
gonna
she
hold
got
it
something
down. She
going on. She
barely
can't
got
keep a man.
a
So
son. No, but it just what it doesn't matter who it is, it's what they bring to the table. You know what I mean? I don't care how fine you are. You fine women get cheated on. Holly Berry done got cheated on plenty of times. Beyonce got
Beyonce,
cheated on.
me alone.
Anybody that you can think that is a beautiful woman has gotten cheated on. So it's not about that. Like it's not about that at all. Coco said I was in a situationship with someone almost 13 years, and he ended up getting married in the midst of it to where I'm afraid of opening up again. And I just want to say to Coley Cole and anybody else that has dealt with that type of situation, is that one, you deserve to be mad. But two, don't be mad for too long because guess what? That person is going on with their life. And if you stay in that state of hurt, anger, or just feeling away like you don't want to date no more, they've
Mm.
won. They've won. Even if they were not trying to win, they've won. So don't allow them to permanently or for a long time stop you from loving. Just love carefully, love
Right.
cautiously.
Take your time.
Yeah,
And even
take
in
your
that
time.
situationship, if it's a situationship, that means y'all wasn't saying I'm
Fully.
yours and yours mine. I'm telling you, that's when we mess up. We stop dating them all. Because in my situationship, I got a gang of
Exactly.
situationships. It ain't it ain't
Yeah,
just
no,
one.
for real.
We friend. I got friends. you know,
Be
we that's where we as women mess up. We
have
will like
friends.
someone and cut everything off before that man say, look, it's just me and you. This is what I want. You know what I'm saying? I don't want you with nobody. I'm not gonna be with nobody. And let's move forward. We'll move in a relationship in dating like we're in a relationship before it's even a relationship. I see that happen with a
Exactly.
lot of women. Even I've done it multiple times myself. That's why I'm to the point to where now I date them all. Before me and
Before
my husband got together, I was dating them all. You
before
got to show
Quincy,
me that
I
this is
was
what you want.
yeah. Before Quincy, I was dating this dude, and I'm gonna say he was a white dude, guilty as charged. Anyways, gotta catch them all. No, I'm just joking.
Yeah,
Anyways,
I mean, too.
he was a nice dude. He was a nice dude. Didn't know that he was about to get married. Okay,
Mm,
so was dating him, and I was single, so I was dating a couple of dudes, and he was nice. He would always fill up my tank and give me money and do nice things for me, and you know what I'm saying? Like he was the plug. No, but he was cool. We had a good time together. Literally, we hung out one night, and 2 nights later, he sent me a text message of a picture of him dressed up in his tux, and he was like, "How do I look on my wedding day?"
yeah, I would have
And
beat
I
his.
was, no. I said, you look, I kept it player. I said, oh, yeah. I said, you look so handsome. I love that color on you. Woo, woo. You and the guys look so nice. I hope you have a wonderful wedding day. I hope you and your wife, and have a great life, this, that, and the other. He probably knew it was over because the way I said it. But I was so sweet and I was so happy with it. Left him with hearts and everything. And I never talked to him again.
Yeah.
I didn't call dudes anyway, so unless we was like that, like we was like really dealing with each other, then of course I'll call you. But just like dating, no, you call me, you text me first, and then we'll conversate. But I never called him. I never answered none of his phone calls after that. I was like, niggas is really wow. That's one of the reasons.
And another thing, you know what?
I'm done dating. No.
Stop dating in the same pool. Like, take a trip. Go to Atlanta. Go to North Carolina. Go to Arizona. Like, go somewhere else and date. Don't date in the same pool as your city. Get out of there, man.
And that's I think what had me good. I didn't date a lot of dudes from Stockton. I didn't date a lot of dudes from Stockton, and that's what had me good. That's how Quincy can walk down the street when we was in Stockton, and even now, and not have to worry about nobody like, ooh, you know what I'm saying? I remember her. I remember like I had dudes out of state that would fly in. I had dudes out of the city that I can drive to them, or they can drive to me. Yeah, so it was only a couple of dudes in Stockton that I actually, you know what I'm saying? And even then, one of them, when I got with Quincy, they sent their brother or cousin to go to Quincy's house. They was smoking or something like that. And the dude told him like, oh yeah, you know that girl, Talisha? Yeah, that's my cousin or that's my brother's girl. And he was like, not no more. I said, I guess was. Period. So even that, like, I just was like, ooh, I'm so glad I don't date dudes like that in Stockton. Anyways, be less that I like dating a secure man. Oh, sorry. Oh, we passed that. All right. She said, oh my, I'm sorry, Coco. Man, they be foul as fuck. And they do. Coco said, I feel like I lost a lot of years of my life. And no, you gained experience.
Right.
You gained a lesson. Take the good times y'all had, take the good sex y'all had, and move on and be like, and the bad that y'all had, make a lesson out of it that I will make sure that I watch those flags, those red flags. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Coco said, now I'm crying. Oh, Lord.
That's what this is for. We wanted to do this because I've always wanted to pour back into, my women, my sisters, to, let them know that, we've all been through it. We've been through some, I might be the oldest one on this podcast, I think. I'll be 49 in June, you know what I'm saying? So I've been through some things. I done been with the D boys, I done been with the blue collar, I didn't, you know what I'm saying? Went through some things, in my life. And I always wanted to reach back and, teach my, my ladies and let them know that, we are not defined by what we went through. It was a learning lesson. It's who built us into the women that we are now, So yeah, you may have been in a situationship for this long, or yeah, you may have been in an abusive relationship, or yeah, you may have been a single mom, but that doesn't define you. That's just something that you went through. So, just know that, we all made the mistakes. We all done had situations that we've been in that we knew we should have been out of a long time of, but we let our heart lead us, And that's one thing, like you said, as women, we'll stay until we hate them. And we have to get to the point to where when we see it's not serving us in our best interest, like Tina Turner said, what love got to do with this? Nothing. If I'm hurt, if I'm always sad, if we always arguing, what does love have to do with this? Absolutely nothing. Because once you let go and walk away and get your independence back, you will look back like, why didn't I let go a long time ago? You start seeing things that, red flags, and don't overlook the red flags. When I started, before I started dating, you only got a couple of chances with me. You 2 or 3 red flags that I know I'm not going to deal with, and get a list of what you are absolutely not going to deal with.
tolerate. Exactly.
And when you
It's
get that list, when they hit it, don't be like, oh, he can, maybe. No, I'm done. I'm good. I'm good. And walk
yeah,
away. Don't try to stay to see if it's going to change or get better. You know you don't want to deal with that. So don't. It's
right.
so
And
many different men. It's so many men in the world. And it's so many good men. And it's so many men that are actually looking for a wife, for a long-term partner. You would be so surprised. It really is. But you got to get out of what's normal. You're not going to find it in the same city sometimes. Sometimes you got to move around.
I literally was telling somebody I love this a couple of weekends ago is that you got to get out of your uh you got to get out of that comfort zone
Comfort zone.
and stop going look for the dudes in the clubs. Now I have people met in the clubs and they made it, yes, but it's been very few in far and few. It's like people who stay together out of high school. It's very far and few, but yes, it does happen.
Mhm.
But go where, if you want successful men, go where successful men be at. Go
Absolutely.
to where the doctors go be at and they conventions. Go where the lawyers be at. Go
Yep.
hang out where they eat at restaurants and different things.
Yep.
Go to mixers where
Mhm.
they have business cards. Make you a business card even if you ain't got no business. It could just be a cute card that says your name and maybe your Instagram and a phone number or email. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like, go
Mhm.
do those things, and you will find those people outside of what you're doing. If you're looking for a man that love God, go to where they have things going on. For if you're a Christian or a Muslim or whatever you believe in, go to where those type of
Yep.
men. Sound like somebody's ancient. Men's.
Go to the rodeos. Go to the
Go to
festivals.
those.
Go to
Go.
the
I
concerts.
told
Go to the
somebody.
jazz fest.
Yes, yes. I told somebody go to Home Depot or Lowe's. Those men that
Yep.
go there, they either going there to get stuff for their business because they have a construction business, or they going to fix up their house because they own a house.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So if they own a house, then they have some type of successful income.
Mhm.
So go where those type of dudes are, and then you will find what you're more so looking for. But
Right.
even in those successful men, you could go get a successful man and he still ain't
Right.
shit. He still might cheat on
Right.
you. He still might have an anger issue. He may not be able to communicate. He might have dookie stains in his drawers. You just
Bet
never
not.
know.
Bet not. Not ever. Better not.
You never know.
Bet not.
So Mila said I needed this. She said, Coco, it's okay, baby. Let it out. I'm right with you. Coco said, Steve Harvey daughter. You know what? I'm done. Are you talking about the one with the teeth? I mean the gums, the big old gums?
Lori Harvey.
Steve Harvey's daughter.
Lori Harvey is the epitome of date 'em all. Oh, you ain't working. I'm done.
Oh,
I
my
mean, if
bad,
she's
my
in
bad.
A-list.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
ain't working. I'm to the next.
What did they get you a fat nigga? No, because they be cheating too. Fat or skinny, they
Fat,
cheat
skinny,
too.
ugly, all of them.
Man, get you just a good man.
Get you a good man. It don't matter if they fat,
straight.
skinny, ugly, fine, not fine. It just gets
You know what?
someone that's true to you.
B-Love, you might have a point. If you feed them and it's good food, you might be straight. If they really like you and you can cook, a fat nigga will stay. He ain't gonna answer his phone. He gonna put it on D&D. Said I'm full. I'm about to hump and we about to go to sleep. Okay.
Right. Right,
So,
Jamie. That's absolutely correct.
Yeah.
Jamie
B-Love,
said, when dating, understand your type and when and why you are attracted to them. Ask yourself, do they coincide with the things that I desire for my life? There is a process to everything.
a
Absolutely correct.
process. And people don't want to go through the process. That's why they don't want to date.
Because we
Women,
move
when
too
they
fast.
like you, when they like you, they be like, no, you mine, and I'm not dating I'm not talking to nobody else, so I don't want you to talk to nobody. No, don't do that. Don't do that, because you don't know who this nigga is.
Right.
So
My mom always told me, date a man that like you more than you like him.
Hey, and I said that. I'm gonna hit that.
I always tell you
Remember
that,
that.
and I'm
Remember
telling
that because
you,
I want
when
to
you
talk
do,
about that.
it's different.
Wait, remember that because I want to talk about it after I read the comments.
Okay.
Quincy said, all I have to do is make them laugh. It's over. Erica said, females love a nigga who make them, and they do love a nigga who make them laugh.
Yes, absolutely.
Those said true. Jamie said, trust but verify. Don't just trust without verifying. Okay, like treat it like a job application. It was nice. This was a good interview, but I'm gonna go ahead and verify this first. Cola said, I was too loyal to the situation. Agreed. Bula said guilty. Bula said, that's why Q hate that nigga. Oh my God, my wedding day is insane. Yes. See, this is why I should not waste my time and I'm a foe. He didn't waste my time though. I actually had a good time and I had a good experience. I chopped everything up to a good or a bad experience. I try not to take it personal. Even though sometimes I do, I'm human, but I talk myself out of doing that. Don't take life so personally because people are peopling the way you're doing your thing, they're doing their thing. Because he said, played your goofy ass, and he did. So I hardly dated women in my own city. Vila said, love me an OT nigga. Why do niggas hate on women they once had? Boy, bye.
Because they mad they ain't got them no more, and they probably ain't gonna let them say it.
Yeah. She said, now you want us to think about the fire and sex and we crying. Fire, sex, and we crying. Except for it was good though.
That's the fire, sex. Fire, sex, you caught up.
Coco said, I love y'all advice because y'all both right and very uplifting. Thank you, Coco. That's what you try to do. Jay said, absolutely nothing. V-Love said, oh my God, I do that. I make a list when I date. Right. But, and you know what? A lot of women don't stick to the list. They be like, well, the sex is good and he got money. You know, or some of them don't even got money, but the sex is good. Or we have a connection. I've never had a connection with a man. Do you know, nigga, you can go find a connection with the other hundreds of millions of billions of people on this earth? Stop. Milo said, ew, I hate a nigga in the club. I go to bars and social events. You right. That's where a man will approach the fuck out of you. A real man. Exactly. She said, okay, I'm about to go to Home Depot.
Cute, okay? Go to Home Depot. Cute.
Oh, God.
Office Depot. For real. They looking for something in there.
Dilo said, damn T. Quincy said, my exes will chase me. Even bold enough to hit Talisha. Yeah, his exes is wild. Like, y'all, I get it. Okay, it was good, but I never let a nigga make me like be chasing after him.
My mother would never let him see you sweat. I don't care how hurt I am. You will not know I'm hurt. You be like, dang, she met a Teflon. Yep. Oh well.
I will go somewhere and scream in my pillow.
Then go cry in the car. Nigga sit in the house, kicking in the bed, crying. You ain't gonna know I'm sick though. You ain't gonna know I'm sick.
Yo, Mila said, show them my LinkedIn, Cuddy. Right, exactly. Yes. But no, for real, that was for real. People, his ex really, he got an ex for real that do that. It was 2 exes at one point, but the one that lied about his baby, the child being his baby, and then they took a test and it wasn't, and she still lied and fudged the papers. And then it's the one right before I met him.
Yes, you was gonna make her a millionaire, have a baby by me, baby, become a millionaire. That's what she thought.
Look, at one point, Quincy did have some money. This was right before I met him, though. I was like, dang, why can't it rain on you while I'm with you?
That's not how it always happened.
I
used to be bothered now I'm here.
Listen, and she still come around. She came around last year, and when I made a happy birthday post to him, she got on there and commented, "Happy birthday, Daddy." And I was at work, so I didn't know till like 2 hours later. And somebody had hit me and said, and screenshotted it and said, sis, who is this? Why is she saying that? And I went on my post and I was like, oh my God, she's back. Like, come on. Girl, you didn't hump his cousin and everything.
Daddy.
And you still coming back to him. But anyway, she done got married and had more kids. She tried to have a kid around Christmas because we have a daughter that's born on Christmas. And I had friended her on Facebook in 2010. I had just had my son. I was pregnant with my daughter.
Dang, she been that tripping since 2010.
Yeah, nigga. I mean, not nigga, but you know.
Backhand down on her. What you did? Put the backhand down on her.
It was wild. She said she would be number 2.
She's still tripping. Oh yeah, that's crazy.
She would be number 2.
Oh, that's
When
crazy.
she got married and everything, tried to have her baby around the same time, Christmas that we had our daughter. Like it was real, what's that called? Snapped or fatal attraction. Fatal attraction.
Yeah, snap. No, somebody just said snapped edition. Yeah.
I was like, damn. But anyway, so what you were talking about before, I said to hold on to it. What was it?
Date someone who like you more than you like them.
Yes. So for a lot of Erica said, "Love, I got you. We double dating in this bitch, right?"
Man.
But growing up, my mom and her mom and aunties and stuff used to teach that for women to date a man that loves her more than you love him, because women can learn to love a man who's taking care of her, providing for her, and loving on her, doing what he's supposed to do. Men can't learn to love a woman because they are, one, they're physical. So if they're not attracted to you, that's a out. They might hump you, but and possibly make a baby with you, but they ain't gonna, men are physical creatures, and they're just wired differently when it comes to love. So once a man loves you and he's on you, that's it. For women, and I think this comes from having arranged marriages, even in the US. Remember when, back in the early 1900s and late 1800s, when women, their fathers would set them up with a man because the families would talk. Right. Like, yes, my daughter wants to, or my son's going to marry your daughter, type thing. And so they would have to learn, if they didn't like the dude already or was attracted to him already, the woman had to learn to love him. Yep. Learn to be turned on from him versus, nowadays. So I think that for a lot of people, there's some truth to that. But I think that all in all, you should still find someone that y'all both agree. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think so too. But I mean, if you do, I've seen it work a lot more often when they're more into you than you are, because, like you said, men are creatures of habit. So if they're more into you than you are to them, once you start being around them, figuring out, you know what I'm saying? It's just something about a man when a man love you, and you, like, a lot of times with men, we're waiting for him to tell you that, oh, I love you. You don't, a man, 9 times out of 10 men don't do the I love you, but they show you with their actions how they really feel about you. That's what you need to look at. We looking for the words and he's saying, woo, woo, woo. No, if a man love you and a man really wants you, it's things that they are going to do for you regardless when they love you.
I'll say this, when me and Quincy first got together, we got together on some faulty terms because he was with somebody and he had to put her out and break up with her. That's the last one he was with that's still stalking us. And he
didn't get no closure.
Yeah, and I guess, but he went without a phone for a year. He had his friends, his family, everybody either called me or his mom, because he was moving out of his place, so he was in between his mom's place and all that. So until we got our place together, so he didn't even have a phone. He was like, I'm not even gonna play that game. When he got a phone, he got a new number. So
Mhm.
he did that, and I didn't ask him to do that. I didn't ask him at all. This is what he wanted to do to prove to
Yep.
me that he wasn't messing with her, didn't want to be with her. You know what I'm saying? He wanted to only exclusively be with me. And
Mhm.
this is a man that talks shit 24/7. And he y'all know Quincy, y'all know his personality. He's crazy. So
Yes.
for him to humble himself in that way for me, and I knew he never did that for no other woman. That was like, okay, he loved me. For
Yeah.
him to give up his phone for a year and tell everybody to call his mama or me to get in contact with him, okay. You know what I mean? So there's, like you said, there's things that a man, if he loves you and wants you, he's going to sacrifice and do. Love is sacrifice. Love is
Yep.
action. It's not just giving. Love is not just about giving. It's also about sacrifice.
Mhm.
And I think we forget that.
Yeah, because to be
So
in a relationship, you have to be selfless, because you're giving more of, there's always going to be times in the relationship that one person is giving a little more than the other,
yeah,
and it reciprocates. Sometimes it's the man giving more, sometimes it's the woman giving more, but it's always going to be a time when somebody is compromising more, someone is doing a little more, like I don't like taking out trash. I'm not taking out no trash. My daddy always said that's a man's job. I'm not taking out no trash. I'm not washing no cars. You know what I'm saying? I'm gas. I hate putting gas in the car. You know, that's just not what I like
yes.
to do.
I hate putting gas in the car too, but you know what? Sometimes
But
us as women, we look at other relationships or other women and say, and would they be like, "Oh, well, my man do this," or you know, um, men should do this. Quincy has put gas in my car, or he has made sure that when we're using one car that he gassed up the car for me. But there's been times when he didn't. There's been times when I gassed up the car for him for when he go to work. You know what I'm
right,
saying? It just depends on what works for you. I know for me, our son now, he's the one that does it because he's 14. He was 15 this year. So our kids have chores. So there's certain things that we don't do because they do it. But I'm mama and I'm at home. I'm the one that built the structure for the house before I even started working back uh full time. So there's things that I still do because they're not gonna clean like I clean. They ain't gonna
right.
deep clean. So that
No,
that
it's not
once
gonna
or
be
twice a
fun.
month, I gotta deep clean. There's certain things. If my son is at school, I'll go ahead and dump the garbage because I forgot to tell him the night before or the morning when I'm taking them to school. So there's certain things that I will do, but like you said, there's just certain things that when you have a man, the way they expect you to be a woman in their life, you expect them to be the man in your life and handle certain things.
Right.
I shouldn't
And
have to
see, and
worry
that's what I'm
about
saying. He knows that. He
mechanics.
know I don't like doing it, so he'll do it.
Yeah,
No
I shouldn't
questions
have to worry
asked.
about getting a mechanic or getting a plumber or
Yeah.
getting an
Nope.
electrician.
Mm-mm.
That should be your thing to either fix it or find somebody to fix it.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, unless he has like a job where it takes him away from the home, like he's in
Right.
military or he
Then that's
travels,
different.
so
Yeah.
obviously it's on you. But you know what I mean? Like, if you
And see,
home every
like
night,
me, I'm the type. I don't mind rubbing your back when you come home from work. I don't mind having dinner cooked. I don't mind having water ran. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't mind. Like I'll do roses all over the house just for you to walk into it. You know, or you know what I'm saying. I know you had a hard day. Things that I may want. I'll put my desires aside to make sure. What I'm saying, you okay. But it's like it's a reciprocal things because it's times when I'm like, oh, I'm just so exhausted, and he'd be like, go in there, leave your mom alone, your mom tired with this, that, and the other. It's like
mhm.
it's knowing your spouse and not mind, like, I know he's like certain things. I'll just go get it because I know that's what he like.
Right. And
You
I
know,
think too, that's where the learning to love, because women, I feel like when they are treated a certain way, it changes even how you're turned on,
mm-hmm.
and as you mature. So whereas before, when your 20s or early 30s, everything was about looks and you making sure they got money so they're not dependent on you. When you get into it and you really start to learn yourself and what you want, you start to realize, oh, him honing into what I like, or him communicating with me, or him being considerate and handling certain things and thinking of me is really what turns me on more than anything else.
Absolutely. The small
You know what I'm
things.
saying? The small things. That's the day-to-day things is what keeps you. Erica said, "You love period." She said, "I'll be trying to be cute in my scrubs." Max just said shit. Hey, doctor, how you doing today? Listen, if you are a nurse or you work in any capacity around so like doctors and head nurses and all that, yes, you are in the playing field. Now, is it gonna be messy and some pee in it? Yes, yes, because
But
people
see,
are people.
but see, let me tell you something. In the
Right.
medical field, it ain't even gotta always be the doctor, man. It could be the CT tech, because they make it over 40 something dollars an hour.
Right,
It could be the
right.
ultrasound tech, man. It could be the senior RN, the charge nurse, the director of, man. Let me tell you, it's so many different facets in the medical field. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you go to those different places. You know what I'm saying? You
Okay,
you
wait.
you be cute in them scrubs. You never know. You might run into a resident and be like, oh, he like you, and then my residency is over, but I gotta move to Honolulu. You coming? Yes.
Yeah.
You never know. You never know where you'll find love. You find it in the least thought place. Where it
Uh,
finds you
there's a
in the least
doctor,
thought place.
and he was actually my doctor for my kids. His name was something that started with an S and ends with a maid. So, it was like two words put together. I know his name, but I don't want to put him out there. But it started with an S, and his last part of it was maid.
I know exactly what you're
And
talking about.
and he was a dope doctor. First of all, shout out to him because I love this doctor. I love that doctor. Both my babies were born in Dameron. But he started off with a wife, and then they got divorced, and he literally got with somebody way younger, a little hot black chick that was like in her mid to late 20s, and literally they had kids, and I don't know if they married now, but he went into a whole having a relationship with somebody else. This chick was not in the medical field. She was not, didn't have no job, nothing. You know what I'm saying? So you just never know. You just never know. Put yourself out there. I love Bila said I love too hard. Second date, I love you. No, no. Not second date.
Not second date.
They said they are visual, very visual. Erica said I have always been told that by my moms and my granny, they need to like you more. Bila said, Jamie, they gonna tell you like it is for sure. Said yes. I don't need to hear it. They gonna say it when they ready to be vulnerable. Right. That was nice. Quincy said, don't let this belly fool y'all. I used to get bitches and I was way bigger. He was.
No, you know what, Quincy? I'm gonna tell you something. I don't think it has nothing to do with size. For a woman, if you make her laugh, and it's just a certain aura of confidence that a man carry, that will attract a woman. And Quincy is a very confident man. You care what you.
He is.
My son is the same way. I'll be like, oh my God, boy, bye. Because they be calling me handsome. Mom, I'm the finest son you got. And I'm like, boy, move. So I mean, it's just a certain aura that a man carry when he's confident of himself, and then dress nice, always present himself, smell good.
I'm telling you,
They don't
yes,
care
all
nothing
of that.
about
First of all,
personal.
dressing nice and smelling good, yes. Keeping yourself manicured, women look at that. But also confidence.
Yes,
You
confidence.
as a man, men don't even understand. Men say women don't understand the power they have when they're confident and they in their bag. Men don't understand when y'all confident and in y'all bag.
Man.
Y'all niggas could lead us to somewhere in the desert, but as
Man,
long as
to the moon. Look, let's go to the moon, trick.
that's
Okay,
good.
let's go.
But as long as you confident, we be
Man.
like, you know what? You might be knowing what you're talking about. I'll give you another chance. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Confidence is everything, but you have to keep the woman after so many times that she's smart. You gonna have to show and prove. You know,
Absolutely.
we'll take people making mistakes. Okay, you made a mistake. It was a bad call. Whatever. Let's do something different. You know. But if you keep leading her to the wrong place, eventually, now you the problem. She ain't the problem for following you. You the problem for leading her to the wrong place over and over and over again. You
But
feel
see,
me?
that's what I say when it comes to men and women, the difference. Like, I feel my personal opinion, the men may leave faster, but they always come back because they'll
Right,
leave before they're completely done. A woman,
right.
9 times when she leave, she is done. Like, because usually a woman that left a relationship about a year or two before she even decides she's gonna walk out the door physically.
Yeah.
Mentally, she already gone, and she done
Y'all
told
probably
you
done went back and
multiple times.
forth. Y'all probably didn't, you know what I'm saying, argued a little bit. Yeah, she's still there. But
Yeah,
yeah,
and she done
she
told
ain't
you multiple times, like, I'm not happy, or this, that, and the other, and you keep doing this, or you make me feel like this, or I don't like this, and you just keep on with the keep on because you think you got it sold up, and then that one day, that's why I break them down so because they just be swearing they got it in the bag. She packed them
really.
bags and go, and you like, well, what? He be like, what happened? Oh yeah, I told you like last year I was good. You just didn't hear me. I was trying to see if we was gonna
Right.
get it together, and you didn't.
You
So
wasn't
yeah,
paying
okay, I'm
attention,
out.
nigga. Erica said the smallest things do, matter a lot. She said it be hard. I ain't even gonna lie though. I'm eyeing a radiologist right now. These doctors be living the nurses and MAs, and CNAs. Yeah, can't
Mhm.
confidence is hella okay. Deny confidence is hella attractive.
Yeah.
Quincy said, he is I and I and him. Erica said, that's true. And normally we leave after multiple times of trying over and over again. And we
Yep.
do. That's why I say we leave once we hate them or, we're bitter. So we are at the 1.5 hour mark. I want to bring us into another topic real quick because we're talking about, like self-esteem, right?
Hmm.
So to me, y'all, what does self-esteem look like to you?
Self-esteem to me is knowing who you are, standing in your truth, and whatever you may have went through, just being able to be okay with that and still look in the mirror and can smile and say, I love you. I love you just as you are. Regardless of all the flaws, all the trauma, the bad hair days, the days when you snotting and crying, still can look in that mirror and be like, you know what? I love you and you're still beautiful. That's what for me self-esteem is, just knowing who you are and having a love for you regardless, knowing your worth. Like my daddy always told me, baby girl, know your worth. Know your worth, know what you bring to the table so you'll know what you won't accept and what you will accept. That's where your self-esteem is, and loving you above any and everything.
Right. Shout out to Lamont Dean. I seen he came through tonight, and Dominique. I don't know if he's still in here. Shout out to you too. Um, I definitely. Quincy said, "Looks like I'm gonna smack something tonight." That's what it looks like. Shut up. Um,
Smack it up, rub it down. Oh
oh my god. Anyway, so self-esteem to me, this is what I was telling my daughter the other night, and it's very important when you have kids to demonstrate what having self-esteem is for boys and girls.
no. Hmm.
So, and I always I was telling my daughter and I was telling Quincy, I know when a man or a woman has low self-esteem because
Hmm.
of certain things they do and certain things they allow.
Right.
For me, a person who has self-esteem is not allowing someone to constantly hurt and embarrass you. It's
Hmm.
not just every now and then some situations have happened because that's going to happen, but
Hmm.
constantly hurting or embarrassing you. Standing up for yourself, not
Hmm.
saying that there's somebody who's defensive all the time. Being
Right.
defensive is different from having self-esteem. Being
Hmm.
defensive means every time somebody says something, oh, is you talking about bad about me? Or what did you mean by that? Like, no, like not that's not, you picking a fight every time. Not
Right.
that. But somebody who stands up for themselves when somebody's doing something to them, being wrong to them, talking to them crazy. Being able to see others shine without being jealous or triggered.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have your own self-esteem. So you can allow other people to flourish, have good things happen to them, and you not hating or being like, oh, I wish that was me, and it's coming out in a negative way. You know what I mean? And the last one was having confidence, not ego. Ego is fake confidence.
Mm-hmm.
But ego is a facade, is what you do. You overcompensate because you don't have the actual confidence or the actual self-esteem.
Mm-hmm.
When you overcompensate, and people can see that. You know what I mean? Versus when you see a woman walk in the room and she overcompensating, she being extra in her personality or the way she look, because she's not really confident.
Mm-hmm.
Not to say that you shouldn't look nice, because you should definitely look nice, do your hair, whatever, makeup, look nice, smell good. But you know what I'm saying? Personality wise, what you put off. Energy is everything.
Everything.
And so people, even if they don't know what energy is or they can't articulate it, they feel it.
They feel it.
Quincy said, not assassinating someone's character to make my character look better.
Absolutely.
Ooh,
yep.
Hey,
Because,
Kay Love. I see you, boo.
yeah, because when you have self-esteem, just because you may be, for instance, you may be a nurse, she may be a doctor, but that doesn't, just because she walked in the room don't make you feel like you're less than.
Right.
Walking in a room, and just because you see a beautiful woman or someone that you think is more beautiful than you can't compliment her.
Right.
I love to compliment people. I love to be like, hey, I see you looking good, that's beautiful. Even like with my daughter, it's so funny. I thought my daughter at one point was suffering with self-esteem. So me and my sister was talking to her, and so she was just like, oh no, it's just, I don't like my school and this, that, and the other. And I was like, well, Jenna, do you think you're ugly? No. I said, oh,
right.
Well, excuse
I
me.
asked my daughter too, and I asked my son.
I said, oh, okay. I said, I was just making sure. She was like, oh no, I don't think I'm ugly at all. I said, oh, okay. Well, hey, I ain't mad at you there, but I was just talking to her, just trying to figure out. But it was so funny. She let me know, like, oh no, that's not it.
I said, I did the same thing, and she told me, I said, you're beautiful, right? She said, I know.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay.
Thank you.
Because now me and Quincy, we're some darkies. I mean, he's darker than me, but we're darkies together. And so I always mess with him on this. But she came out a lighter shade of brown. And because that's just how Black people are. And I have lighter shade of brown in my family. He's the darkest one of his siblings. His siblings are way lighter than him. Mm-hmm. But I grew up with self-esteem issues because I grew up on the north side of Stockton. I went to predominantly white schools, mm-hmm. From Westwood to Murata to Tokay to and then that's where it ended, because Bear Creek was full of niggas. But there was just north side niggas. But and so I grew up where they picked non-Black women or light-skinned women or mixed mm-hmm. women. And I was tall. So I was just as tall or taller than a lot of the guys. So they went for the women that were shorter. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Then I had my gap. I learned to love my gap after I got out of high school. Then I started losing baby fat, weight or whatever around 18, 19. Mm-hmm. And I really started, my mom used to always say that you just like me. You are a late bloomer, So you go through your funny looking stage through middle school, high school, and then better. I didn't really understand how beautiful chocolate was until I went to the Bay. When I started partying in the Bay and going to, I can't think of the name of the damn club, but it was for 18 to 20. and they was hollering at me like on the street, like stopping their cars. That's when the big rims and the lights in the old schools and all that, the dash was lit up and the trunk was lit up, and they would stop and be like, "Ooh, yeah, city nights, thank you." And they'll be like, "Hey, chocolate, hey, what's up with you?" Woo, woo, woo. And I was like, me? You know what I'm saying? I was like, wait a minute, do I got something here? You know, and eventually, shortly, it didn't take long for me to understand that, listen, my mama was right for one. And two, I've always had beauty.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It wasn't that I wasn't beautiful. When you're in a situation where is competing, even
Mm-hmm.
now, think about it now. Everybody's competing to have the nicest body or the biggest booty or the nicest breast or the prettiest face with the makeup and the hair and all that. Like you have to really hone into what makes you beautiful. And I took a lot of niggas from a lot of where they was dealing with women prettier than me
Mm-hmm.
because of who I was and the confidence I gained.
You
You
know what?
know?
For me, I I didn't really struggle with my self-esteem until high school.
Mm.
Um, because like you said, I was tall. I played basketball. I was tall. I was dark, and
I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at Quincy.
most men, they was looking for the little light brights or the others and stuff. So I kind of, but let me tell you, when I fully grasped my self-esteem, I went to Grambling State University, and when I tell you, it was a whole new ball game.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I mean, it was a plethora of men, black men, and everybody just from everywhere. And that's when and I remember this one guy, because I was walking and I'm just trying to get to get to the cafeteria, eat my little lunch, I can go to class. And he just kept
Right.
on talking to me. And I was like, dude, what? He was like, you are so beautiful. And I was like, thank you. And he was like, no, no, come here. Like, hold on. He stopped the car, parked the car. He's like, I'm finna get out. Came and sat and was like, I just want to tell you how beautiful you are, and this, that, and the other. And it was just so much of that. And then he was like, I just want you to know that regardless of what
Hold
you
on.
may think, you're beautiful, and there's if men is gonna like what men like. And basically, he was telling me, he was a light skinned man. He was like, you're gonna always be attracted to a light skinned man. A light skinned man is always going to be attracted more than likely to a dark skinned woman. Saying, it's just like vice versa. He was like, it's just, everybody has their ones that they just feel is most attractive. And I was just like, oh, he was like, and for me, dark skinned women do it. He was like, I love dark skinned women, I love tall women. You know what I'm saying? And so I was just like, oh. And then I started looking at the pattern of the men that I would attract. And usually it's a light skinned man or another nationality. And I'm like, golly, every time I turn around. When I was in Tennessee, it was all, I mean, white men all the time. Every time I turned around, I was like, oh my God, oh my God. But we'd be going I worked in corporate America. We're going to lunch, me and one of the girls, and then this man she's like, oh no, you don't have to pay for your lunch. You pay for it. I look over, it's a white man over there, like smiling. Hi. I'm like, hi. So it's just like, once you learn that you may not be for everybody, but there's absolutely always going to be someone out there that you're going to be very attractive to. And when you come across that person, you'll know. It's just, I think we think that if certain people are not looking our way, then, oh, I'm not this, I'm not that. But it's not always that. It's certain people that you're just going to attract. And you just have to, know who it is, know what you like.
Exactly. Um, Coco said to Erica, I love that for you. You're beautifully made. Oh, okay, because Erica has said, sorry,
Quincy's so
I was
stupid.
running.
Quincy said something.
Okay. She was talking about that she said I just recently became more confident with my body. Erica said, "Thank you. I definitely didn't feel that way. I honestly had surgery, and it made me feel so much better about myself."
Mm.
So, why do you why do you think that is? Opposite attracts.
I don't know, but they do. Opposites opposites really attract. I think it's probably because they see something that you have that they don't. I don't know what it is, but I'm telling you, when it comes to light skinned men, all the time. I don't care where I'm at.
I think attraction is just attraction. Everybody's different. And I think and I say that because of me, who I am. And before I met Quincy, I met a lot of different dudes. I met older men. I met younger men. I met people my age, white, black, Asian, Mexican. And people like what they like. It doesn't matter who they are. That's why I
Mm-hmm.
always say we limit ourselves when we're dating, and we think that it's just only certain type. And even we'll say, I only like this. I only like this. And you don't know what you like until you try it. If you try it,
Mm-hmm.
something different, and you be like, I don't like that. Then you can say, really, you experienced it, you don't like it. How can you say you don't like fish and you never tried it? You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So I always say that people say perception is reality, but perception can be changed by a new experience, a different experience.
Right. But see,
That's
that's
what
just like with a lot of women, a lot of black women was upset with Chris Brown when they was like, "Oh, Chris Brown don't even like dark skinned women. He like this, is that, and people that look exotic or mixed or half breed or whatever." And I'm like, why are y'all mad if that's that man's preference? His
right.
preference is this is what he like. Why?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna be honest. Like I said, my preference is I've dated white, I've dated a Hindu, I've dated dark, I've dated mixed. I like light skinned men. It's my preference. It's not that I would never date a dark skinned man. I just don't. That's just not my preference. But a light skinned man is just something about a light skinned man for me. So
And that's
that's my
what it is for a
preference.
lot of people, men and women.
But
They like
I don't understand why it upsets people when people have a preference. That's just my preference. It doesn't
I
mean that
think
you're less than or worse than.
one, I think it could be upsetting because of how it's conveyed. If a man or a woman says, I don't like, okay, I'll give you a perfect example. Um, for me being dark skinned, I ran into a lot of men because I had a lot of guy friends. Plus, I listened to hip hop a lot. And back in the day, in the 90s and early 2000s, that's all they talked about was a red bone, a light
Right.
skin, a caramel.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So it wasn't a lot of songs talking about chocolate women or had chocolate women in their
Right.
videos. I made up in my mind that the men who like me are going to be attracted to me, and then I can pick whether I'm attracted to them or not. I don't care about if you like white women, light skinned women, whatever. If that's your preference, that's your preference. I
Hmm.
done dated dudes who that's what they liked, and they
Hmm.
once they got to know me and started talking to me and hanging
Hmm.
out with me, they would do the backhanded comment where they'd be
The
like,
backhanded. Don't you hate the backhanded comment?
yeah,
I
like,
always get them.
oh, you cool for a dark skin, or you pretty
Right.
for a dark skin. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? But
Hmm.
and you do with that what you will. But as long as you're not putting me down or putting my type down, I don't care. But a lot of women get triggered when they see black men with very light skin or mixed women or white women or Mexican women or
And see,
so-called
I
exotic.
don't
What is
as long
exotic?
as
Okay, what is exotic?
what I don't as long as you don't give the I only date white women because black women
Yes,
this. That's when I have a problem with
because
it. But if you
right,
prefer a white woman, hey, you prefer a white woman. That's your preference.
Exactly. Quincy said, or Coco said, do you feel like it's some? Oh wait, first of all, Quincy said, because we like her, we
And
like
we
her
like her
too.
too.
Coco said, do you feel like it's sometimes forced on them to have a certain type? Yeah, I think that America,
Sometimes.
the U.S., even just in general, I went to school and I learned about African American studies. Even in other countries, even in other continents, it is taught that darker skin is not okay.
Yep.
In Italians, in Spaniards,
In
in
Cuban.
Asian, yeah,
Mhm.
Indian,
Mhm.
they are taught that darker skin means less attractive or even more poverty.
Yep.
And
Absolutely.
so that is just taught because that's what the Europeans did when
That's the
they
society.
came
Yep.
over to where we call the US now, and they took over the colonizers and they made it to what they wanted it to be. That's just what they did.
Mhm.
Take it up with the Europeans and the Romans. I don't know what to talk the Romans. So yes, a European beauty was pushed on us. Having straight hair, or even the nice wavy, but not too kinky, but wavy hair. Having a certain type of nose type, lips, and it's crazy because it came back around that they want us to look European more in the face, but now they want us to look more black in the body. So the big booty, the hips, the roundness, the bigger breasts and all that. Like, and even now they filling up their cheeks and their lips for it to be that. So it's funny because it came right back around to they want to look like us, but they want it to be with a lighter skin color. And don't get me wrong, because I love everybody who's black and I don't care if you light skinned it. I don't care if you're the most light skinned or the light skinned and the darkest of the darkest. We're all beautiful and we all black. So, growing up and maturing, you have to learn that. But I've always loved, I grew up with different races and different colors of black people around me. Like I said, I have a god sister that we have known each other since we were 8 years old, and we're in our 30s. It's been 30 years, and she's half Hawaiian. So I appreciate everybody in the dynamics and the diaspora of Black people. I think within Black people, we have internalized the whole thing with what is beauty and what is not. And now we're starting to see more darker skinned females be models and be in commercials and being acting, taking on main roles and being beauty. You know what I'm saying? Even makeup has evolved to where they complement the dark skinned women. But back to self esteem, I definitely feel like, hey, Paul, I see you in here, Craig. Did they already start the live where they was doing the diss records? Is that where everybody left to? But anyway.
Look, Quincy said now, just to be clear, I've never dated a white woman.
But he got hair from her. Anyway,
you know what? Y'all get on my nerves.
It's funny when the black man says he doesn't date black women. He only dates white women. It's seen as self-hate. But when a woman says she doesn't want to date a dark-skinned man, it's preference.
Listen, I never said that I don't or I wouldn't. I have. It's just a preference. Like I said, it's just a preference. This is what I like. I like light-skinned men. It's nothing against a dark man, because a dark man, when I see a dark man that's like fine, it's just undeniable. It's just like, oh, good God. You know what I'm saying? But it's just my preference in dating has just been, light-skinned men. But it's not that I won't date a dark-skinned man, or like, oh, I would never date him because he's dark-skinned. I would never date him.
Right. And see, that's the difference. When they say I would never, or they would say, or even if they say ugly, like, first of all, you've never seen all the light skin or all the dark skin women or all the whatever preference you're talking about. And we only do this in in African American Black culture or whatever you say.
Because we're the only one that got the rainbow. That's
Right.
why it only happens with us. They only got one color. They can't say I don't want. That's all they got. We have the
Right.
rainbow. We have a plethora to pick from. We light, dark, mix, this color, this light shade of brown, this darker shade of brown. This, we got a whole rainbow.
Right. And I mean, even in though like European or even other races, they have like the lighter skin. You have pale skin Asians or Mexicans, Latinos, like some with colored eyes, some with blonde hair or light brown hair. You do have the variations in other races.
Yeah, it is.
And even they say the tall, dark, and handsome. And white people say that, but they're usually talking about like Italians or men with the darker brown, black hair with the and it's just like it is a preference as long as you don't put down the other, and especially if the other
That's
is
where I
yours.
think the problem come in. When you like, oh, I don't like them because of this, that. You know what I'm saying? Like I see a lot of that's what bothers me with a lot of Black men when they date outside the race, because it's always a negative to the Black woman when they do it. Oh, I don't only date because Black women don't listen, or I don't like because Black women is too aggressive, or I don't only date this because Black women is not submissive, or I don't, you know what I'm saying? And it's like you can't say
I
that all
know.
Black women isn't submissive. You can't say they're all aggressive. You can't say they all because you haven't dated them all, And that's why I try to tell a lot of women when they like all men is no good. You can't say that because all men is not
Right.
no good. Maybe just all the
That's what
men
I'm
you dated has been no good, but all men are not no good. You haven't dated them all. How would you know?
exactly. Um. Quincy said now. Okay. So Coco was laughing. Quincy said, "Yep, that's not dated." He said, "Not you, Cuddy." He said, "Fuck all these women there."
Well,
Exactly.
gosh.
And that was something we got about 10 more minutes, but I know that you had one of comments, your topics that you wanted to talk about submission. I think maybe because I think that's gonna be a long one. I
Yeah,
have a lot to say.
I think we can cover that next time.
Yeah, we're gonna cover that on the
We can
next
cover that next time.
definitely. But as far as self-esteem, ladies and fellas, if you in here or watch this, but self-esteem, do you know that people who prey on um, people who have low self-esteem, they can see it, they can feel it, they can sniff it out? So that's why it's important hey, Sarge, I see you up in here. That's why it's important to, when you are dating, especially after a heartbreak, especially after somebody then did you wrong, it's important to know your weak spots. And it is a skill, okay, to know your weak spots, but also peep out, the red flags. Because people who know you have a low self-esteem or know you'll kind of take anything with bullshit, they're gonna try you. But they also gonna give you a good side. They're gonna make you feel like, oh, you can trust me. Oh, I'm not like them, and this, that, and the other. But their actions always tell it.
Always listen to the actions. That's what you listen to. Don't listen to the words, listen to the action. And I really personally, just my personal opinion, I don't feel you should date if you have low self-esteem. I feel like you should wait until you've built that self-love in yourself, because when you do, you become you put more, in my opinion, this is my personal opinion. I feel like you put more pressure on the relationship, because
Yeah,
now you're looking for that person to prompt you and prim you, to make you feel like you're beautiful, to make you feel like you're worthy. You having them overcompensate for things that you're lacking. I feel like you should come whole into a relationship. That's why you should take time off after a relationship, even if it's a good one, and it just mutually you guys grew apart. Take time to see, okay, what transpired in this relationship, what happened, did I lose me, do I know who I am, and especially it should be longer, not dating, once you've been in a traumatic relationship. It takes time to heal. It takes time to figure, because even once you're healed, there's going to be times when that person that you're dating, knowingly or unknowingly, are still going to push the trigger.
Yes.
That will still trigger you, and you'd be like, dang, I thought I was healed from that. You will
Right.
learn, as time goes, you'll learn how to handle that trigger, but there's still going to be some triggers there.
Yes. And people always say, "Oh, get up under somebody else to get over someone else."
Mm-mm.
I mean, your ex, and that's not good. Now, it might help you for the moment. It might band-aid it, but that band-aid over it is useless if you need stitches.
But you know why it's useless,
You know what I'm
Talisha?
saying?
Because
Like,
what happens is when you leave one person, get up on another one, you find the same person that you just left, just in a different body. You still find that
right.
same person because you're still attracted to that same familiar spirit. It's just in a
Or
different person.
listen, I didn't see women mess up a good thing with a new dude because she can't get over the old dude that was
Hmm.
not doing her good.
Hmm.
You know? So sometimes you gotta like cut that out. That's what I said. Sometimes band-aids ain't it. You need to be
Hmm.
stitched up, and that takes time.
It
And
takes
not only
time.
does it take time for you to get stitched up, it takes time for it to heal
Yep.
versus just a regular cut where the band-aid on.
Right.
So if it's a deep cut, if it was a long thing, if it was a
Hmm.
deep thing, then give yourself time. Do the work. And like you said, it takes two to tango. So if the relationship didn't work out, look at yourself and
Yep.
not to say that you did anything wrong, but sometimes you're an enabler.
Hmm.
Maybe you didn't do nothing wrong, but you enabled them to keep doing this to you. And now look where you are.
And you learn yourself, because like I said, I one of my biggest things, and I didn't think it was a problem until every man I dated said it. You don't know when to shut up. That's the problem. You don't know when to shut up. And I'm like, what you mean I know when to shut
Eventually,
up? Say what I
everybody
want
is.
to say. I'm grown. But then I had to take a step back and look. It's like, okay, I see. Because when he said this, I didn't have to say that. You know what I'm saying? Then when I start looking and taking accountability, then I learned, okay, that's what he mean when he said, I don't know how to shut up. I don't always have to have a response to something I don't like, you know?
Mhm.
And you learn that over a period of time, and you learn that through self-evaluation, things about you. Because if you keep hearing the same thing about yourself from different people, it ain't them, it's you. Now start it's time to look, into you. If somebody keep telling you you're selfish from different people, then maybe you need to step back and look and be like, dang, am I really selfish?
Right.
So
Exactly. And that's that accountability.
accountability, absolutely. And self-inventory.
Yeah. But we are hitting the limit, and I am
Last
definitely
three
getting
minutes.
but I appreciate everybody that came through tonight. I appreciate
Yes,
everybody that had something to say. And even if you didn't have something to say, you were just watching, I appreciate it.
appreciate it.
Um, did you have any last words you want to leave everybody with?
Just self accountability, self inventory, and learn to love you. Self
Yeah.
love is the best love.
And I think I want to leave everybody with we're not here long enough to be living unhappy all the time.
Absolutely.
We will have unhappy times here and there, but as much as you can do your part on your life and on the changes you need to make, let's not stay here and be unhappy for all your
Yeah.
life or majority of your life. We're not here. We don't know when we're gonna leave.
Right.
So do the work, enjoy your life, love on who loves you, and do what's right.
Yes. Take trips, ladies.
Oh my goodness, take trips.
Go to different states, different countries.
Expand your mind.
Yes.
All right.
All
So
right.
I'm gonna go ahead and play. Quincy got all these songs of his. He get on my nerves. What is this? All right, we're gonna play "Keep Your Head to the Sky," y'all, and we out of here. See y'all in 2 Tuesdays. I don't know which day that is because I've been drinking and I didn't look it up beforehand. So deal with it. All right, here we go.
They keep telling me they better than me. I can't see it, but perception is reality. As long as they believe it, leave them talking in the same spot, sitting on the same block. Lukewarm niggas in the game, but they claim hot. Not going back and forth with you niggas with no plans or a couple of angry bitches. Only 2 or 3 fans, I digress. And I ain't gotta tell them I'm the best. I drop on Black and Mickey's podcast, you already know the rest. If this was checkers, they would king me. Checkmate if this was chess. I was collecting for a moment, got $100 check. And for you niggas talking loud, if you really want to box, I'll be home in October, nigga, you can pick the spot. This ain't really what you want, just accept defeat. Like a Walmart worker, yes, I check receipts. If you didn't understand, go ahead and press repeat. Like a Xbox to Nintendo, you just obsolete. Top a seat.
All right, y'all. I didn't mean to cut it off like that, but I'm just to get off. Quincy King Jones is on his way home, so hurry up now. Drive fast. No, I'm just like. No, I'm just saying. All right, y'all. We'll see you in 2 Tuesdays, y'all.
Quincy, you see my shirt? I wore it just for you.
Oh my God! Listen, when is the okay? No. We ain't there yet. We still got till August, right? We still got till August for football season, right? Or is it doing the football the picks? Are they doing the picks right now? What is it called? The
Not
draft?
yet, but soon.
Okay. Lord, I'll be like, wait a minute.
I cannot wait. Oh my God, it seems like it's
reason
forever.
for football. I like it too. But give me a
Hurry
reason.
up.
All right, y'all. We'll catch y'all on the Tuesdays. Well, I'll see y'all though on Friday with King Jones, Quincy with the questions, and then Saturday Night Slappers where he will be playing music. So don't forget that, y'all. Send your music in. Send your cousins' music in. Your uncles, your aunties, whoever got good music. Go ahead and send it in. And try to send it in before we start because he's not gonna play it. He want to download it and have it ready, y'all.
Okay.
And we're gonna play and vibe out.
All righty.
All right, y'all. Have a good night. Have a good night, Kibana. Love you, cousin.
Love you too, cousin.